legal limit. Yeah. You blew like a .24.
I don't know what that means.
The legal limit's .08.
Okay.
Do you drink often?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes? Okay.
The superintendent then tells Coates she needs to call someone to come pick her up.
Well, I can't let you leave. If you leave, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, I'm going to arrest you.
So I need somebody to come pick you up.
Greetings and welcome back. Welcome. Tonight's video is entitled Bodycam Season 1, Episode 2, Teachers and Intoxication. Now I've already presented this and I will do it again. And these are my disclaimers. First being the Fair Use Act. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Everyone should be familiar with that, and I'm using that for the video that will be shown. And it states, allowance is made for fair use of copyrighted material for purposes of commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, education, teaching, which is the irony here, and or scholarship. It provides for the legal, non-licensed citation and or incorporation of copyrighted material by others which might be infringing under other circumstances. And next, the viewer discretion disclaimer, which basically states the following broadcast contains mature themes and situations intended for adults. Viewer discretion is advised. Now, tonight's video is focusing on the profession of teachers. And a teacher is a person who teaches or instructs, especially as a profession. Now, keep in mind, there are several professions in which we entrust others. And unfortunately, due to stressors, perhaps behavioral issues or other issues may cause them oftentimes to make poor decisions, poor judgments that may, in fact, subsequently result in the loss of their dream, desired profession, and oftentimes their freedom. Tonight we're focusing on the story of teachers who were caught via body cam under the influence. It's sad when you think about it, because teachers for the longest time have gone under so much scrutiny. There have been issues with talks of not being paid for the work that they do. Not only that, I'm being assaulted. Some who treat and love their students as if they were their own. Students who may be suffering from neglect and abuse from their homes. So it's very, very unfortunate and sad. In contrast, we have some in this profession who are actually the culprits of assault. So without further delay, I'm going to share the screen and watch this video, again, fair use, on the stories of a few in this profession. Now keep in mind, this is the holiday season for many. There are sports venues, concerts, and other venues in which adult beverages are readily available. Some may think, perhaps because they've indulged, and this is a practice over the years, that they're fine with getting behind the wheel of a vehicle after maybe one or two of these beverages, when in fact it's been proven they're not okay if they're caught. Sometimes some may say they were just lucky in coming out unscathed, or merely falling asleep and not being harmed or harming anyone else. Unfortunately, there's a dark side where some are not as fortunate. Bodycam, Season 1, Episode 2. This is fair use, and we're going to continue in the video that you saw in the beginning of teachers being accused of being under the influence while at school. Courtesy of Law and Crime.
Go.
Come on, chameleon.
I know I've been having a hard time. Am I going to get fired?
Honestly, yes. Or you can resign. You're under the influence at school with kids. That cannot happen.
When the officer presses her, Coates admits to drinking heavily the night before the first day of school.
I did drink a lot last night.
How much did you drink?
I don't. Too much.
What do you drink?
Wine.
So how many bottles of wine did you drink?
We had the box.
Did you drink a whole box of wine?
Half a box.
The superintendent then goes to Coates' third grade classroom to get her belongings, and that's when things take a turn.
Okay, no more games, right?
Yeah.
What is in that?
My juice.
Gonna try again? That there is wine.
I thought that was from yesterday.
Did you drink it up here yesterday?
Well, I brought it from home.
Being truthful goes a long ways, and you haven't done it yet. Have half mine to arrest you just because you lied to me.
Okay, what do I need to do to make everything right?
I just wanted honesty. That's all I wanted.
I drank out of that yesterday. I didn't drink out of it today.
The officer and school administrator once again argue with Coates about having someone come pick her up. When they repeatedly ask her if she would rather get a ride or go to jail, she says, quote, neither.
That alone in itself is very disturbing. Now, intoxication. The quick textbook definition is the state of being intoxicated, especially by alcohol. Synonyms include drunkenness, inebriation, and sobriety, tipsiness, stupefaction, and many of those you've heard in a drunken stupor, tightness, inebriety, and crapulence. You can see that clearly she is not in her right state, and the officers are getting very agitated. We'll continue this video. Again, fair use.
Eventually, the officer makes the decision for her.
Please, just let me. Can we?
Hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You had your chance to be honest,
Well,
and,
I did.
and then you wipe this out.
But please let me. Please let me. Hold on.
I should charge you with tampering with evidence.
Please let me.
No,
let me call-
no, it is over. No more. No more. I'm done. You are under arrest. I'm going to place handcuffs on the front of you, in front of you.
No.
It starts to dawn on Coates that she may have to walk out in handcuffs in front of students.
So, unfortunately, in this story of this teacher, she was arrested, and they did try to shield this unfortunate fate from her students, because remember, many students look up to their teachers for guidance. Oftentimes, love they may not receive, as I mentioned earlier, from their homes. So this behavior is not only detrimental to those in the profession, but to those with whom they teach. And we'll go to the next story. Again, fair use. If you have any comments, please be sure to leave them. And we will be presenting again fair use on the next story. Courtesy Law and Crime.
Two officers then sit down to talk with her.
They said they had reports where I was drinking at school,
Okay. Is there any
which
other-
has never happened.
Okay. When was the last time you've had anything to drink?
Last night,
Okay. About what time did you quit drinking?
probably about 10:30.
10:30. How much did you drink?
Just a glass of wine, nothing major.
Investigators say a principal smelled alcohol on Davis's breath. Davis then agrees to take a breath test.
I don't even know what that
0.06.
is. That
You are just under the legal limit. So if you were to be out driving right now, you would be charged with DWI, driving while intoxicated.
under the legal limit.
Just under it. The legal limit is 0.08, which is DUI. From a 0.06 to 107, you could be charged with DWI.
I haven't had anything to drink today.
Davis finally starts to realize she won't just be going home for the day.
Can I have somebody pick me up?
Well, I've got a legal obligation. Okay, you're here. Entrusted for the care and safety and to teach. For the
I
teaching of these kids.
understand, but
Okay. No, today you're going to be arrested for public intoxication.
And we had another teacher, unfortunately, who was arrested for public intoxication, as you heard the officer say. And it wasn't until the alcohol was noticed by the principal, according to this video. In these stories, you'll see some that appear to be surprised, and for me, it's heartbreaking in a way, because like other addictions, I do believe people try, they make the concerted attempts to rid themselves of these habits that have turned into actual problems. But either they don't have the proper support groups, and some may be in denial. Not all, but some. We're going to the next story. Again, we'll go to the next. This is again fair use, courtesy of Law and Crime. Again, please be sure to leave your comments and your thoughts. And if you or someone you may know have experienced this, please be sure to leave those in the comments.
She was taken to jail and later released. Now let's go to Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is Tara Fritz. Police say on June 27th, 2023, around 10 p.m., she made an improper left-hand turn. She had a green light but didn't yield to oncoming traffic, so another car hit hers. Fritz's daughter was also in the back seat. Fritz refused to go to the hospital, but an officer smelled alcohol on her breath. What's your name?
Anything to drink tonight, Tara?
No.
Grab it.
Now, this story is one of the dangers. She actually has her daughter with her in the vehicle. Thankfully, they were not injured. But the point is, her daughter was with her, and it could have been an extremely tragic situation. We shall continue with this video. Again, fair use, courtesy of law and crime.
I'm scared right now. Like this guy hit me in the car.
Okay, come over here.
The officer has Fritz do a few of the sobriety tests, but she failed.
Count out loud. Count out loud. Stop.
That's pretty hard. That's pretty hard.
Officers took her back to the station where she gave a breath sample. Her BAC was reportedly 0.18.
Sorry.
Okay, so again, like I said, everything with police now is pretty much done. Robert's coming. He's on his way. He's going to come sign the waiver, and then you can go home.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry.
And you could see the actual sobriety test that you may see in the next coming weeks, depending upon where you are. They will let you know by alerts on your phone or by a marquee on the highway that they will, meaning law enforcement, will have designated sobriety checkpoints, especially with this upcoming holiday. And we'll continue to the next story. Again, fair use.
outstanding citizen. I can't wait to hear what he does. What do you think he does for a living? Does he teach kids with disabilities?
No, I don't know what he does, honestly.
Yeah? Right. So find out. I'm just saying. I just want to be able to go back to my life.
Let's walk and talk.
I just want to go back to my life as a teacher and not have to worry about this night.
The officer wrapped up his time with Fritz with some pretty solid advice.
Don't do it again.
Tara Fritz was later charged with reckless driving and operating under the influence of liquor or drugs. Next, we're going to Florida, where Polk County deputies stopped a teacher from another county for swerving while she was driving and finding her BAC was way over the legal limit. 52-year-old Leslie Spence of Tampa was a teacher at Skyview Elementary School. Someone called 911 to say her car was all over the road on Friday, October 20th, 20.
And this is going to be the last spotlight on teachers and intoxication. Fortunately, for all of these featured in this broadcast, there were no injuries. But just think about if there were. And as I mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, many teachers, many people in many professions, that's their lives, that's their livelihood. They eat, sleep, and breathe what they do. They're extremely passionate. So for those, I empathize, I do. But there is something that many of us were aware of the word, but we do not practice it enough, and that is accountability, knowing right from wrong. And again, many addictions are a form of illness. No, I am not in the medical profession or profess to be. These statements totally the opinions from my heart and my feeling. Perhaps some people are afraid. Some people may be in denial, but it's behaviors that have been highlighted in this video that can ruin, again, the lives of those who have been dedicated to this profession and those who look up to them. So again, fair use on this last portion of this video, courtesy of Law and Crime.
Around 10:45 p.m. Deputies say Spence had bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and an odor of alcohol. The teacher also failed her field sobriety test, and she was later arrested. When she took a breathalyzer test, Spence reportedly blew a .214. That's just about 3 times the legal limit. At one point, deputies say Spence told them, quote, "My father is a lawyer and he will sue every single one of you." Spence was charged with driving.
Now this goes a little bit left because many of us, and I'm sure some of you listening may know others who flaunt, and I use that word lightly, flaunt, or perhaps boast about their connections to law enforcement. And for some, it may help, but for others, especially when you know that you are doing wrong, It holds no weight. And it's those, in my opinion, and I repeat, it's those, in my opinion, with these pugnacious attitudes are the ones that make it worse. So again, this is fair use, courtesy of Law and Crime. Again, your comments are welcome.
Driving under the influence with a breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. Our last stop is in Walton County, Georgia. It's the beginning of the school day on November 5th, 2019. The school principal requested an ambulance for a teacher who fell in the parking lot. Dashboard camera in a patrol car shows deputies arriving at Walker Park Elementary School.
She's walking in the parking lot and she fell. And she has no idea what's going on, but she reeks of alcohol. She's refusing to go with them.
Tara Stewart is the second grade teacher at the school. A deputy and the principal smelled alcohol on Stewart's breath when they got down to talk with her. According to police reports, Stewart had a cut on her arm and a bruise on her forehead, but repeatedly refused to go to the hospital. She also refused to do a breath test. After around an hour and a half, deputies are able to get her on her feet and put handcuffs on her. Stewart was later arrested for public drunkenness, and the school district later accepted her resignation. For Law and Crime After Hours, I'm Sam Goldberg.
So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stories of several teachers caught on Bodycam under intoxication. There are many resources available, to include Alcoholics Anonymous, also known as AA, and you can visit them at www.aa.org. And briefly, Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who come together to solve the drinking problem. But one must, number one, admit that they have a problem, or they may have a problem, or they may be experiencing issues that may lead to a subsequent problem. There's no cost to attend these meetings, no age or education requirements. And according to their website, membership is open to anyone who wants, and that's the operative word, who wants to do something about their problem. The primary purpose is to help alcoholics achieve sobriety. Again, you can find that on www.aa.org. I do hope that this video has opened the eyes to some who may not have even thought it was plausible that teachers, who again, they with every profession are human, and we don't know what horrors they may see in their students, what personal issues they may be experiencing at home. And while seemingly they're dedicated and passionate about their professions, they still, unfortunately, according to what we've seen and heard on this video, participated in behaviors detrimental to themselves and society. Thank you for tuning in, and please, all comments are welcome. Again, for those who celebrate the upcoming holidays, those that enjoy football, basketball, baseball, hockey, any other sports I may have inadvertently forgot to mention, concerts, especially jazz concerts, perhaps the theater, which I absolutely love. We all know. And I almost forgot. Simple get-togethers. There's often a variety of adult beverages available. And if you do decide to indulge, please be responsible. Think of yourselves and think about others, because the goal should be arrive alive. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be safe, be well, and be healthier.